Hey everybody, Vickie Gould here, the Words Lady, and today is day 2 of Stories to Share and Sell, our 3-day challenge. And I am super duper excited today to be sharing with you how to share your story in engaging and attractive ways so that people want to actually work with you. Because, what's the use of having all these followers and having engaging content and sharing value on your stories and you all over the place if people aren't going to sign up for your stuff, right? We are going to be going through a formula that I call the social CTA blueprint formula. And there's going to be a cheat sheet that I'll link in a little bit later. Hey everybody, jumping in. It's so good to see you, Lori, Benjamin, Crystal, Lisa, Angela. Nice to see you. Say hi, let me know that you're here. Send me an emoji. I love emojis. I really love emojis if you know me. You know I love emojis. Okay, so today, or actually yesterday, you found out what stories are going to serve your audience the best to grow your following. Hey, Phil. And now that you know how to get really clear, right? Really clear on that, today we're going to be talking about how to structure your story so that you're engaging, right? Like I said, so that people want to work with you, so that you're magnetic and attracting. This formula is the secret sauce to converting your audience into clients. So definitely keep your eyes peeled. We're going to be going through step by step, right? But first, I want to acknowledge those who were here yesterday and did their homework. Whether they were on live or on the replay, lots of people did homework. Now, I'm not going to call anybody out who didn't do their homework, but there's usually an 80-20 rule going on, and the 80%ers are the movers and shakers, and they showed up and did their homework. Yeah? Yep. Okay, hold on a second. My screen just froze for a second. Okay, we're good. All right, Pamela, good to see you. Martin, good to see you. Lisa, Lori, Carl, good to see you too. Robert, I haven't seen you in a while. Where have you been? I'm excited for today's workshop, says Pamela. Me too. So, homework superstars. Shout out, right? Shout out, high fives. Phil, Debbie, Sharon, Martin, Vernell, Veronica, Lori, Pamela. Way to go with your homework. I love seeing all the ahas, the takeaways, how much you put into describing your people, and now you know really a lot about them, right? So high five emojis for everybody, right? And I want to also congratulate Phil, Debbie, Lori, and Deanne for signing up for Storytelling for Stages and Pages and being one of the first and getting both bonuses. And I'll tell you all about that later after we're done with the story formula, okay? If you missed day 1, don't worry. You can still catch the replay. And if you're watching this replay, make sure you hashtag replay so that I know that you were here. Right? Because I know we have some new people joining today. Real quick, today is set up where I'll share with you the story formula I call Social CTA, which is one of 3 of my story formulas that I teach. Then I'll give you an assignment. And then if you're interested in a deeper dive into storytelling so that you can use it in more platforms, even on the fly, I'll share my upcoming program, Storytelling for Stages and Pages, that has 2 huge bonuses that you don't want to miss, right? Now, I've mentioned multiple times that I have other story formulas. The reason I picked to share a step-by-step process and breakdown of my social CTA formula is because of how versatile it is, and because it is for everyday stories. It's not your why story, it's not your brand story, which are really important, but this social CTA formula for your stories will support those why stories, really your brand story, one story, right? And those align with the overall feel and message of your brand. So you get what I mean? Yeah? All right, type in social CTA, like, social media CTA, if you're ready to grab the cheat sheet. I'm going to paste that into, this wasn't anything that you had to print out first or anything like that, but I just dropped that into the comments so you can go grab it if you want. You will get an email a little bit later with like a wrap up and everything of the things that we did. And you'll also get that link again. Hey, Sharon, good to see you join us. All right. Anne, good to see you too. All right. So this formula can be used on social media and in conversations like networking and interviews. And I like making things easy to remember. So it's an acrostic, which is kind of funny because my book formula or the writing written page formula is laid out in 4 steps and it's called book. And the one for selling from stages or doing like bigger, you know, your bigger why story and stuff like that one is called stage, like, you know, stage. And it has 5 steps. And this one happens to be for social media and it's social CTA. So it has 6 steps and then a call to action. Yes, I know. I just amuse myself. So anyways, if you have a chance here, go grab that. If not, no biggie. It's going to look like this, and we're going to go step by step. So if you don't have it, it's okay. If you want to print it out, don't leave us. Take your computer to your printer, or hopefully it's right there. But it's social, SOCIALCTA. You can just write it down on a piece of paper as well if you don't have it. Okay? So S is for statement. We are going to disrupt their thought with your thought and make them think, laugh, or feel, right? Bonus points if you do all 3. So this is a statement. O is for obvious story. Something that happened to you doesn't matter when, if it was yesterday or if it was 20 years ago, it doesn't matter. It's something that's going to illustrate your statement or make a bigger point for your statement. Now, here's the thing, okay? It says obvious story because I needed an O, but it may not always be that obvious. You might have to kind of weave it in, all right? C is for conclusion, where you sum it up for them, right? Because like, you know, sometimes people don't always catch what we're getting at, right? You get my drift? And some days they go, no, not really. So you kind of have to sum it up for them, right? Hey, Jacques. Hey, Megan. So that was C, right? I is for I. Just I. Relate it back to what you think or believe. There was a time when I think, or I believe, or I whatever, right? It's about what you're thinking, feeling, or talking about, right? A is for all of us. This creates community, commonalities, belonging, relating. It puts them and you in the same bucket, right? And you want them to feel like you're with them. You don't want them to feel like they're an outsider watching some perfect person, right? There's a we that goes with it. So that's all of us, A. L, oh wait. Let me give you an example. Like we have a tendency, sometimes all of us at times, you know, I'm sure at times all of us have something like that. All right. L is for leave with a question. For example, has there been a time in your life? Blah, 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 right? And then the CTA, we all know, is call to action, right? Always, 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 always have a call to action at the end, whether it's free or paid. It doesn't have to be like a huge thing, right? I think sometimes we think a call to action is monstrously huge, right? Like we think our stories have to be tragic. They don't have to be like that, right? Call to action can simply be message me. Comment below, or join my Facebook group, or click here and get a free assessment, or, you know, join my 3-day challenge, sign up for a whatever. And, you know, it can also be, hey, I have this awesome new program coming out and it's on super early bird special or early bird special right now, just like my storytelling for stages and pages is on early bird special right now with 2 bonuses and it's just $2.97. Like that's a call to action, getting them to do something. And remember, yesterday we were talking about we train people how to treat us, right? So we want to train them to start clicking. So when they see us online, they're going to know, oh, she's usually going to ask us to make a comment. She's usually going to have us click someplace. She's usually going to share whatever's new in her business right now. that I might want to know, right? So you start training them into how your stuff is set up, okay? So here's the thing, keep in mind what we talked about yesterday when we went over the target audience, right? The issues they deal with and what they want to hear. You will revise and tweak and refine what you put down yesterday, because what you put down yesterday is not something to go carve in a stone or make a plaque. What you put down yesterday is your starting point. Remember this, you don't figure out every single perfect piece of content, script it, and then put it out. That's just not how it works, right? That's not how it works. What happens is you put out content and then you figure out what your audience loves, right? So like, for example, I'm just going to use my promotion pieces that I had for story or for stories to share and sell for this challenge. Some of them got more signups than others. Some of them got 30 people to sign up. Others got 3 people to sign up. Now I know which conversation works better. Yes? Martin, yes, there is a link for the cheat sheet. You might have to scroll above, but I can drop it in here again. There you go. And hold on a second, I get back to where I was. And what was I saying now? Oh, you have to put out content and then figure out what your content, your audience loves. And this is a process, right? I've had content bomb, and I kid you not, I used to be envious for those people who would say, you know, I wasn't doing so well. And, you know, the only person who opted in was my mother. I'm telling you what, my mother didn't even opt into my stuff. She didn't even show up to my live stream. She's not even a friend of mine on Facebook. She doesn't know what I do. But anyways, I've had content bomb. But the greatest thing about content that bombs is you learn not to do it again. And you learn that that's not enticing for somebody. And you get these things that you put out, the live streams you post, your pictures and everything. You get better as you go, but you cannot learn from those bombings until you actually put stuff out, right? You gotta listen to your audience. They'll start telling you what interests them by their comments. Your content will just get better and better and better and better as time goes on, and you have a better pulse on your audience, right? Just like you cannot wait around for your confidence to land in your lap or one day, you know, show up and go, oh, I feel so super confident today. Like, it's just not going to grow like that. Your confidence grows as you do and take action. So that's the same thing with your storytelling. You might share a story that, like, nobody resonates with. No big deal. Just don't use that one again. Or maybe it was the bridge that wasn't really great. Hey, Lynn. Or maybe it was something in the call to action. You have to pick it apart and figure out which part didn't work, right? And remember, your story needs to make them think, feel, or laugh. Bonus points if you have all 3. And when you get more comfortable, you can start asking them to respond to your live streams, kind of like what I do with you guys. Even I still forget sometimes when the video is super short. I'll get into something and then I'm like, wait, I didn't ask them a question. You know, because sometimes it's hard to look back and forth into comments and also do the live stream and then come back and figure out where you are. Because like even 2 seconds ago, I lost where I was because I was throwing the freebie cheat sheet in for Martin. Anyways, let's go through an example, because this is how we can figure out how to use this social CTA, right? I want to go straight through this example though, right? So I want to just piece by piece go through this example, and then I will go to the chat. So while I'm talking through this example, I just want you guys to know I'm not ignoring you. I still see that you're here. Put your comments and questions in on the way as I'm talking, and then I'll go back and answer them, because I don't want to interrupt the whole stream, because I want you to hear the whole entire story as one piece, right? But like I said, if you have questions, I'll go back and answer them, okay? Real quick before we do this though, I want to tell you, no one No one, no one, no one will make a fuss about anything unless you do. Don't call attention to your mistakes, your nervousness. You'll lose credibility if you say that. Your dog, your kid, just keep going. I had somebody on an expert call and she was like, oh, but you know, my kids, and you know, I've done interviews where the kids just coming in and you know, nobody is gonna care unless you make a fuss about how horrible it was that your child came in crying, your dog was barking, your neighbor rang the doorbell or the postman or whatever. Just keep going. My lights have fallen over before. My earring has fallen out while I'm talking. And I just did an interview the other day where the host connection on Zoom kept dropping, like his internet connection was bad. But because I was on the call, the recording kept going. So he dropped off and he would log back on and there I was still talking. I knew because the little red button was still blinking that it was still recording. So I just kept talking as if he was there. That's what you need to do, okay? So let's go through this. S, statement. We're gonna go through an example story, right? Statement. Sometimes we let our feelings dictate our actions to our detriment, especially in business. Now, I'm not saying to ignore your feelings, but that, ooh, you're not safe thing that happens really isn't always correct. It's not always protecting you. O, for my obvious story. My story is going to be about fear of judgment standing out, or what do you think if, okay? So much of my life, I've been told that I am too much, too smiley, too bubbly, too talkative, too expressive, too smart, too standoutish, too loud, too intimidating, and even too caring. Now, do you remember back when Olivia Newton-John, right, with Grease, wore those shiny black tight pants? Well, back in 5th grade, my mom got me pants like that. In fact, she got me 2 pairs. One was like a rust orange, copper, you know, burnt copper type of thing. And the other pair was a jet black. I had 2 pairs. I was super happy. I thought I was cool. I wore that black pair to school and I was like, whoo, I'm looking good. Until we were crossing pods. Now, I don't know if you guys had pods, but we were crossing pods to change for a certain subject. And a boy who was sort of quasi-friend, I wouldn't say that I liked him or anything like that, but this boy said, why are you wearing those? Do you actually think that you look good in them? And it crushed my soul. I remember it like yesterday, and I'm 48 years old now. Yes, I remember his name. It was Neil. So, like many children who are actually born to stand out, I started to try to tame down my personality, to fit in, not call attention to myself, even not laugh so loud. And I squelched myself. I thought the best thing was to fit in. I thought I had to dress like everybody else. I thought I had to look boring. I thought that this was the only way that I was going to be accepted. I thought that I was going to have to make sure that I didn't stand out because it made other people say mean things to me and I didn't want to be hurt, right? Have you ever felt that way? Right? Has that ever happened to you? You know, I remember that day so very well because of how embarrassed I felt and how rejected I felt, how much shame, right? And I let those feelings rule the way that I acted in many situations afterwards. So when I first started my business, I thought, I don't want to stand out. I don't want to call attention to myself. I said, Vickie, you need to look like everybody else and you need to fit in. Like, but what is really the mold of a coach like me, right? And guess what that did for my business? Do we not want to stand out in our niche? Don't we want to show our personality to people so they can choose to have an experience with us as a coach? Yeah. And shouldn't we speak up and say what we mean? Right? Yeah. So you can guess what happened. Right? Now, if you've seen me at events and such, you know that I love clothes. I love clothes that are unique, asymmetrical, stand out. And there's a little quirkiness in my personality, and I tell jokes that maybe are only funny to me sometimes. Hopefully I make you all laugh too. But oh well, right? C, conclusion. But what I found out is that the fear that I first had, the fear of judgment, standing out, or what will they think if, actually didn't keep me safe at all. It made me miserable to squelch my true personality. And guess what? It wasn't any fun, right? Side note here, you could also teach a little something if you wanted to, okay? I think a lot of times we wrongly give our fears power over our actions, much to our detriment. All of us. We have a tendency to default to feelings when making decisions because it's easy to let our feelings be the excuse for not doing something that we should do, like not doing a live stream, posting what we really think, sharing our stories, or jumping to invest in ourselves with a coaching product. See what I did right there? Leave with a question. When have you let your feelings get in the way of your success? Call to action. If you want to learn more about this and figure out when to follow your feelings and when to know that they're working against you, I'd love to invite you to join the discussion in my Facebook group where we blah, 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 blah. I'll throw the link in the comments and I hope to see you there. Bye. All right, side note, if you want to try something like Frank Kern is one of my marketing guru gods to me. He ends with I love making these videos for you. He's usually teaching something, and then he says, and if you enjoyed it, let me know so I can keep making and putting out content like this for you. Okay, so the number of words that I spoke were 630 words. Now, because I kind of broke it out and had a little side notes here and there, it was a little longer, right? But at an average speed of talking 130 words per minute, that was 4.8 minutes. Okay, 4.8 minutes is all that should have taken if you were doing the live stream and just read the script. Okay, here's another last thing. We can't forget the title, because when you do a live stream, there's always a title, right? And you have to think about that in terms of clicks and open rates, kind of like emails, right? So what do you think the title of this could be? Think of a good email open title. What? Did I say that right? Think of a good email title that would get good open rates, right? You need curiosity. So I could say something like The Day I Dressed Like Olivia Newton-John and What It Taught Me. Or you could be more direct with, sometimes we let our feelings dictate our actions to our detriment. Have you ever let your feelings get in the way of your success like I did? I'm always about testing, so see what your audience is going to respond to, right? Okay, phew. So that was the whole shebang. Now you know why we couldn't go through 3 formulas. That would just be too overwhelming, right? 1 is enough for now. I want you to get good at this. So tell me what you think. Now you know the things that your people will be excited to hear from you. Now you know the structure leading into something. And tomorrow, we're going to be talking about turning those storytelling skills into client getting skills. Bam, right? Because what's the use, like I said, of having a great following and then not getting the benefit of great clients coming out of it, right? Okay, questions. Let's look at the chat before I give you your homework, and I bet you can probably guess what that might end up being. Okay, so Deanne forgot to set my alarm for replay. Hair's looking slick. Thank you. That was what happened with the braids. I had black parachute pants in 8th grade. Oh, I remember parachute pants. Those are pretty slick. Oh my goodness. Hey, Leonard, good to see you. All right, so I don't see any questions. I don't know if it's because they haven't popped up yet for me, or if it was just so crystal clear that you guys got it. So if you have questions, pop that in. I'm going to talk about the homework real quick. So tomorrow's homework, actually, sorry, today's homework, day 2, share a quick 5-minute or less live in the group. Now, this is a pretty safe group, all right? So in the group, or if you want to be daring, if you're, this is not your first rodeo and you're really comfortable with live streams and do it on your personal timeline and then share it into the group, right? We don't care what you look like, just don't sit in the dark. What breaks my nerves is when people have like a backlit window, because I think that that's how it should be. It's like opposite. Your face should be facing the light, facing the window. Like I have, you can't see them, but I have 2 light umbrellas here. Okay, so make sure we can see your face, because the trust comes through the eyes and the personality. And if you're sitting in the dark, like what is that? There's the commercial. Is it State Farm? I don't remember which particular commercial it is, where they have the where they have the little outline of the guy, right? And then he jumps into the water. Anyways, that's a tangent. Just don't look like that, right? You want to share a simple story using this social CTA story blueprint. Create a title, and you're going for clicks and views, right? You want people to be interested, to look at it, and then I want you to put the hashtag SSSday2, right? And you can script it, but just try not to look like you're reading. You can script it until you can start doing things on the fly. And trust me, you do this enough, and you'll be able to just start doing it, and it's going to just come second nature, all right? So I am going to pop in homework a day 2, what to do, all right? Veronica says she's loving it. Sharon says it was pretty clear. She got lost in my story. Amanda, yay. Deanne says, I don't have questions yet because I missed the first 20 minutes. I'll post after I see the replay, but your story was super. Thank you, thank you. Oh, Phil, thank you. Mass Mutual Commercial Man in the Dark. That's who it is. Veronica says, I just learned to face the window. Huge for me. Thank you. You're welcome. Face the window. Face the light. All right. So remember, those who do the homework have the biggest success and then can apply it to their business. Plus, you can get feedback, not just from me, but from other people. So when you see your fellow Stories to Share and Sell Challenge participants doing them, give them your comments. Tell them what you loved, right? And then if you want to do it this way, like 3 things you loved about it and 1 place that they could do better. I always love to make sure that people are having the encouragement and the feedback that they need, right? Now, as I mentioned earlier, I want to share what some people have already jumped into yesterday and how you can get even more help with your storytelling magic powers, but use it for good, not evil, right? So that you can attract more followers and close more sales quicker and easier, because that's what stories will do for you. We're going to go into that tomorrow, though. Plus, you're going to get 2 huge bonuses, but let me tell you about the program first, okay? So I'm launching a program. It starts July 29th called Storytelling for Stages and Pages, the art of getting more clients than you can handle simply by sharing your stories. And it is at bit.ly/stages and pages. I will pop that into the comments. And this is where you'll get even deeper into how to speak directly to your ideal client's heart, rise above others in your industry, grow your following, keep your prospects' attention, be memorable so they share you with others, let them know that they're not alone, that there's help, show them the possibilities for their life, and then make your sales conversations easier, right? And you're going to learn how to master the most important story for your business, your why story, your brand story, where to find your universal stories that catch people's hearts and attentions, where to share your stories to attract your ideal clients. And we're going to go through all 3 of the formulas that I have for storytelling for every situation, written, on stage, on social media, which works even on the fly, right? How to wow the crowd as well at networking events and get a flood of new clients, even if you only have 30 seconds to speak. Trust me, when I go to networking events, people come up to me afterwards wanting my card because of how I've shared and what I've said. And it's actually pretty cool because you get an audible wow from people. How to use your everyday stories for never-ending content. We're going to go over that too. And to create a 90-day repurposing schedule so that you can start working easier, right? Instead of always feeling like you got to put stuff out, right? It's valued at $2,000, starts July 29th, investment for early bird ends July 12th, and it's just $297. And here's where the bonuses that you'll get if you're amongst the first 15 to sign up. These are the bonuses that made everybody like, oh my gosh, I need to get in. And remember, there are already spots that are taken. You get one free ticket to my Story Sell Live event, valued at $997. It's a 2-day event here in Michigan in September. The date is almost to be announced. I will let you know when it's confirmed. And as if that weren't enough, you also get to be part of a telesummit hosted by moi that will give your brand story exposure to my network of over 35,000 followers and email subscribers. How could that potentially change your life? And if you're not confident right now about doing this, you're scared to put yourself out there, I promise by the end of our time in storytelling for stages and pages, you'll be excited to do it, because part of being scared is because you don't know how, and you don't know what's going to work, and you don't know, if your people are going to think you're boring or interesting, right? So we've already done part of that today. You need to know more as well for other situations. Again, it's at bit.ly/stages and pages. I hope I put that in there right. Yes, I did. And, listen, my business is based on helping people tell story, right? It's such a big deal to know how to tell stories and to share your story. Such a big deal that I make a living off of it. You all let that sink in, right? You need to master this so that you can stand out and have people pick you. So you can hear things like, crap, you're in my head, take my money already. Like, these are real things people have said to me. I'm cleaning up my emails and deleting a lot of people I'm following, but not you. Somebody here might know who said that. You were the shot in the arm I needed today. Somebody might know who said that too. I was on a spending hiatus, but darn it, now I need to buy your program. And then, this makes it so much easier for me to pick you over the other people I've considered, even though your program's a higher investment. Like, oh, music to my ears, right? So if you want a little bit of that, you got to join Storytelling for Stages and Pages. And I'll leave you with this. Actually, I'm going to have a hold on 1 second with I'll leave you with this because it was a quote. I'm going to go back and check the chat because I know people. A couple of people put something in there. Let's see. Oh, Mecca, hi. Virginia, hi. Good to see you guys all joining in. Phil says he's excited. Deanne says just got in. I'm in that 15. If you haven't taken one of Vickie's programs before, she gives mad value and she's brilliant. As you can see here, go for it. It will be worth your investment multiple times over. Thank you, Deanne. I think I'm going to have to copy and paste that somewhere. Phil says, Deanne, yes, the two of them have been at my events before. They're always super fun. We do a lot of practicing. You walk away with a lot of stuff, I'm telling you. Replying to Phil, yep, that was me. Yeah, there was a couple quotes there from you guys. All right, I will leave you with this from novelist Erin Morgenstern, who wrote The Night Circus. You may tell a tale that takes up residence in someone's soul, becomes their blood and self-purpose. That tale will move them and drive them, and who knows what they might do because of it, because of your words. That is your role and your gift. All right, so I am looking super forward to seeing your homework and being here tomorrow as well. Same time, same place, and don't forget, Monday we're having a wrap-up on Zoom too. Okay, I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.